Live, but not really live from Florida, it's time to talk about Saturday night! Welcome back, everyone, to Grizzly Reviews. My name is Garrett. Today, we are going to be discussing the brand new film Saturday Night. At 11:30 p.m. on October 11th, 1975, a ferocious troupe of young comedians and writers changed television forever. Find out what happened behind the scenes in the 90 minutes leading up to the first broadcast of Saturday Night Live. Let's just get this out of the way. My excitement levels for this movie were through the roof. I really wanted to see a movie about the first night of Saturday Night Live, which is something that I've never thought about before. I'll even admit I'm a huge fan of the Saturday Night Live show in general. Like, I went to go see this movie on Saturday night, October 12th, the day after it came out nationwide on the 11th, which was actually the day 50 years from when the show started. The numbers are making sense. But anyways, I went to go see the movie Saturday night the 12th, and I came home to watch Ariana Grande host Saturday Night Live, which, by the way, that was an amazing show, and I can definitely talk about that episode at the end of this review. But anyways, going into Saturday night, I had extremely high expectations. I was really hoping to see a comedy drama film that was slightly thriller just by the anxiety of making a show. It's cliche to say this, but a movie about film or TV is Oscar bait, and this movie deserves any Oscar it's about to get. Because let me just say, what Jason Reitman did with the writing and directing of this movie and having so many different characters and perspectives of going around this film in only an hour and 42 minutes, I think. And the fact that he pulled it off as well as he did, this movie is a triumph. Not gonna lie, it's one of my favorites of the year. Every single thing about this movie is amazing. The costuming, the lighting, the camera, the direction, everything. The cast of this movie. First of all, Dylan O'Brien as Dan Aykroyd is completely crazy. Fuck, what a performance. Truly unrecognizable is Dylan O'Brien in this movie. Like, it made me want to go watch more of Dan Aykroyd's work, so I watched Ghostbusters 2 the other night. Rachel Sennett, who is an actress I am beginning to really, really love any work that she does. She was in Bodies right over there. I made a TikTok using her voice from that movie. She is the wife, not wife, to Gabriel LaBelle's Lorne Michaels. And wow, those two together in every scene they're in are so fucking good. If you recognize the name Gabriel LaBelle, he played Steven Spielberg in The Fabelmans, which was a good movie. I liked it. I don't think it was a great movie. Like, I was never like, oh my god, this is one of the best movies of all time, seeing The Fabelmans, but I enjoyed for what Spielberg was going for. And his Lorne Michaels is what drives this movie. That is your protagonist. Lorne Michaels is trying to get this TV show made, but so much craziness and characters are going around, and they haven't really tightened out on what the show actually is because this is their first time trying to do it. Like, if you're doing a live show, you really only get like the practice beforehand until it's actually live on TV. So there are tremendous stakes for every character in this film. Lamorne Morris plays Garrett Morris in this movie, which, by the way, was really fun having Lamorne Morris play someone who is named Garrett, and just every character calling him Garrett. And my name being Garrett, I was like, oh my goodness. It was the same thing with Josh Hutcherson looking for his brother in Five Nights at Freddy's. I was just like, my name is in a movie. It's amazing. Of course, Garrett Morris is a real life person who you probably know best from Two Broke Girls, unless you paid attention to television beforehand. But Two Broke Girls is how I knew of this person before this movie. And his big story arc in this movie is figuring out why he is on the show, why he is the only black actor they cast. And his arc throughout the film is fantastic. I love the conversations that this character has. I really wish we saw more of Garrett in the movie, but I'm not opposed to where else we saw, like Chevy Chase. I'm a big Community fan. This is how I know of Chevy Chase, but I never thought to like think about the one season of SNL he was on. It never occurred to me to just think about that. So I was really happy to see this perspective of Chevy Chase and how much pressure, how much everyone was telling him he was so good and how he built this ego, and thinking about how this would later shape his career and actions as a human being. I thought it was an amazing perspective to have on this character, or person rather, IRL. But anyways, I got way off track. Rachel Sennett and Gabriel LaBelle are fantastic in this movie. I would love to see them do more work. I know we'll never get a sequel to this movie. This movie does not need a sequel, but I wish I got like a 4-hour cut of this movie just with those two characters more in it. Because what Rachel Sennett does, she is so direct and powerful in the TV world, and I loved her character and how she was a writer on the show, but she also had like a saying, she had a voice for what was happening in the show, could tell people, hey, that's funny, or do this joke instead, or do 8 more frames to let another beat happen in an edit for one of their pre-filmed bits. Like, oh, this movie is so fucking good. The score of this film is fantastic. I don't even know who did it. I need to go look that up. That's why the music is so good in this movie. Jon Batiste is the composer for Saturday Night. So not only was he playing Billy Preston in the movie, he did the score, which is just completely mind-blowing. I love Soul, and Jon Batiste is the person that performed the piano pieces that Joel Gardner in the movie Soul plays. So just like seeing that and now knowing that, this movie is even more special to me because it's people that worked on other movies that I love. I'm gonna keep going through the cast because there's so many people. Andrew Barth Feldman has the funniest sequence in the movie when he takes a hit of marijuana while he's trying to find one of the actors who left the set because he tried to get used for promotional products. Andrew Barth Feldman is so funny in this movie, and it is the best comedy in the film. Whatever he does, I love. Nicholas Braun is in this movie playing 2 characters. You've got Andy Kaufman, who I think he does a really good job in. Like, I have no idea who Andy Kaufman is as a person, but I liked that character in this film. And then he plays Jim Henson. And the way they portray Jim Henson, which I've seen people complain about, and I kind of agree, is weird. Like, they play him as the straight up weirdo character. Like, he's just living in his own world. And maybe he is. Maybe they have a perspective that I don't know yet. I don't know Jim Henson that much. I haven't really, looked into him as a person. But it was just a little kooky, and in a way that I didn't love per se, but again, I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to Jim Henson. I will say I didn't love how sexualized they kept making the Muppets, and that was the joke that kept happening over and over again. I wish we actually got to see something happen with the Muppets rather than them just sitting on the stage. I wish we got to see them do a rehearsal run. That would have been cool. I do really want to watch The Muppet Show now, because knowing what Jim Henson wanted, and that you can use puppetry but make it adult and make it funny, I do want to check out The Muppet Show actually and see if that's actually what that show captures. I'm sure it is. This movie just makes me so excited. I even have a new bucket list item with this film. I want to attend a live recording, live taping, whatever you want to call it, of Saturday Night Live so bad. I just need to be in the audience for this show sometime. This movie was excellent. I truly don't really have anything negative to say, considering this is all real life stuff that happened and I don't know what happened with it. The pacing kept me in, the characters were fantastic, the acting is incredible. I love the direction that this movie takes. The cinematography it's just giving 70s, and I love it so much. It's maybe the funniest live action movie I've seen this year. The anxiety I got from the pace of the film is non-stop. I did not want this movie to end. Make it 2.5 hours. Just stretch out an hour and a half into 2.5 hours, please. I would love that so much. Give me a director's cut of this movie. Just add some scenes that maybe got cut. I just love this. And I kind of wish this is what 30 Rock was. Like, I like 30 Rock for what it is, but now that I have this, I want Saturday Night more than I want 30 Rock. Which is a crazy thing to say, so you better not come for me in the comments. But anyways, I love Saturday Night. It is going to get a 10 out of 10. I just think it's a perfect movie. There is absolutely nothing wrong with Saturday Night that I can think of. And it was exactly the movie I needed at exactly the right time. This last week has been kind of awful mentally up here, to be honest. And Saturday Night gave me the break from reality that I wanted. I was completely engrossed. It held my attention in a way that I haven't felt a movie has this entire year. Like, I was in from the moment it began, and I loved it so much. So please, let me know what you thought about Saturday Night in the comments down below. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Don't forget to check out my podcast. All the links for that will be in the description as well. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye! Ariana Grande was a fantastic host. I love Bowen Yang getting in Galinda's bubble dress. That was fantastic. The kiss those two shared is deeply funny. I love the smell of my best friend's house. That is a perfect game and song sketch. It's so delicious and so good. And I just think Ariana Grande was fantastic the entire time. I have no complaints about the most recent episode of SNL. I can't wait for the next one. I really can't wait for John Mulaney and Chappell Roan. I just want more, and I really hope to attend it someday soon.